I will. No, thanks, man. No,
Hey,
that
man.
was a good jam.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, no, I loved it. Oh, no, I loved it. What are you working on now?
Well, I'm working on this remix. It's Winds of Change. It's a song from my latest album, Essence of Rhythm. So I've just decided to work on different versions of the song to actually release in a single for December.
And what is the difference between the first one and the remix?
I think the first one, it's more, I think it's more straight ahead in terms of like, it's more deeper, you know, the arrangements and the mood of the song. But this one, it's more like between R&B and the actual modern jazz, you know, with nice up-tempo beat. And there's another one which is featuring Bongo Muffin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you've now decided to work with Bongo Muffin, and is that only them or other groups are involved?
Well, I mean, I'm looking forward to collaborations with a lot of musicians. Like, there's a project that we're working on, me and Moses Mulalekwa and Vus Kumalo. It's called Collaboration, where we actually get together and play together and make the music. And, I mean, I love to work with people, so I think that's what I...
Well, from what we have seen between me and you, please never consider playing with me. See, you saw how terrible I am.
Man, I saw a lot of potential in you.
Oh, please. You sound like Jerry Maguire. But the love for music, where did it all start?
Well, I started at the age of 13. And my grandfather was a musician, my father, and I have cousins which they play guitars. So I fell in love with the sound of the guitar. And I just picked up the guitar at the age of 13. And I started to learn through my cousins. And as a self-taught guitar player, listening to radio stations, tapes, you know. That's how I managed to.
And somehow along your journey to be the Jimmy Dludlu we know today, you ended up in UCT. How did that come about?
Well, I used to do a lot of gigs. And as a musician, I was becoming so limited with the information that I had. So I had to go and educate myself and to know more about my kind of work that I'm doing. So I decided to go and study more about music. And not only about music, but I also discover other aspects of the music industry that I had to, you know.
Other aspects like?
on. I mean, like the business side of the music, you know. So that's why I decided to go actually and enroll into a jazz program.
But Jimmy, is there a need to study music? The same as drama, is there a need to study those courses? I mean, isn't it all about talent maybe?
No, the talent alone is not enough, because music is a language, you know, and you gotta have to know the whole vocabulary. So if you don't have that, it becomes difficult for you to even be able to work with other musicians from outside, you know. So you have to be well informed.
And in your music, where do you draw your influence? Do you have other musicians that you look up to? I know George Benson might be one of them.
Well, I think I get my influences from different people. Pat Metheny is one of them. And here at home as well, I've got a very good guitar player. I don't know if you've heard. His name is Temba Mkwena from Peter Marisbeck. And I listen to Miriam Makeba, Yuma Sikela, you know, a lot of musicians.
But the funny thing, somebody might ask, Yuma Sikela is a trumpeter, Miriam Makeba, she sings very well. She's a songstress of songs. But they don't play a guitar. I mean, your style, who is influencing your style?
Well, my writing and the guitar style, it has nothing to do with only the guitar players. Because what makes you unique, if you had to sit with the guitar and work all the melody lines that Brayu is playing, or Miriam, it means you'll come up with a very unique guitar style of playing. So that's what I've been trying to focus on.
Having won 3 awards at the Summer Awards, does it come with any pressures of saying, hey, I've arrived and I need to double my efforts into producing the 3rd album? Does it have its own pressures?
Well, I think what the awards actually shows you is they give you encouragement to know that there are people out there who are actually supporting you, listening to your music, acknowledging your work. So it's just for you to actually look at it in a positive side of things and say, I'm going back to work as twice as harder.
True.
Not just to be satisfied with what I've got.
And your music, how do you define it? I mean, what's your style?
Well, my music is based on African form with the actual jazz improvisation. And I can say it falls under the township jazz.
Township jazz?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like more, not mainstream American jazz?
No, I mean the mainstream jazz, I don't play that.
Well,
You know,
so
I've learned how to play that, but it's not what I want to do. I'd rather be myself.
And then you compose?
Yeah, I do compose my own music, and sometimes I do work with different writers. Like Winds of Change, I worked with Mark Fransman, piano player from Cape Town.
But out of all this, if you have to take music away from Jimmy, what do we have? Who's Jimmy?
Man, music is everything to me. And if I can't play the guitar, I'm sure I'll be the most saddest person in the world. But nevertheless, through my studies, I wanted to learn more about not just playing music and other things. If I cannot play my guitar, I'd rather just go and teach.
So it's not like you have other hobbies out there, basketball, soccer or something. It's just music for Jimmy.
Well, I mean, I love sport, but I've always been very careful about my fingers and, you know, other things. Just like soccer players, they normally show their
legs.
Yeah.
So your guitar, I'm sure you didn't start with this one, but this looks like a special guitar from this one. I mean, this is like a standard acoustic guitar, if I'm not lying.
Well, I started with one of those homemade guitars, but this is a custom-made guitar, and somebody made this guitar for me by the name Mike Menga. He's from Cape Town, and I asked him to make Jimmy Dludlu guitar.
Hang on, what is a Jimmy Dludlu
Well,
guitar?
it means you go and talk to him, and he can measure your fingers, right? And you tell him that you need a certain pickup. You know, it's like a tailor, basically, where you say, I want you to make this type of trousers for me. So I was looking for a guitar that's going to actually bring my own voice.
Okay.
You know, me and the guitar, we can be together and bring that voice. Because most guitars, basically, I was not happy with. I mean, I do have few guitars, but I was not that much happy with the sound. But this one actually gives me actual identity.
You're also an academic in music. You've done some researches, and apparently you did a presentation at the University of Atlanta.
Northwestern in Chicago.
Yeah.
I was involved in a program, it's a research program, where they selected 10 students from Africa to actually do individual projects in West Africa to go and study other traditional music, African music. So I took the program because I really wanted to get to know more about, you know, other cultures, especially in Africa. So the program, actually, it was called Crossing Boundaries. I spent some time there with musicians and trying to analyze their music. And then the program actually went to the States, where we had to tour the whole States and perform for the students and actually present a paper about the music that you're talking about. So it was a very challenging experience, but it was, I must say, it was very helpful for me.
But now, Jimmy, I've always wanted to ask you this. What's up with the hat, man? I don't know how you look like with that hat. Take off your hat, let me see.
Oh, no, I look like you.
But man, you're not bad. So why are you hiding your head?
No, I'm not hiding my head. I mean, I love my head, really. I think...
Some kind of trademark. I mean, if I put this, obviously I've got a big head. I look like Charlie Chaplin. But look at you. I mean, without a head, man, isn't it great? Look at this hair. I mean, it's really... So this all
I don't have hair. Look at this.
But what is it your trademark?
I won't say trademark. I mean, I started to love hats from when I was 20 years old. And looking at, like, jazz musicians of the 50s, 30s, you know, just wearing, like, this beautiful hats, you know, like the American jazz artists. So one of the things I wanted to associate myself with is the image of those musicians. And I think my hat, it's part of me because those people have actually influenced me.
And it's really working for you because I can't imagine you without a hat, honestly.
I know.
Wow, Jimmy Dludlu without a hat. Now, where to from here? Are we going to hear a lot of Jimmy Dludlu?
Yeah, actually, I'll be working with a lot of musicians for my next album, which is going to be coming next year. But I'm also playing the Jazz Standard Bank concert, and I'll be playing alongside Ronnie Jordan. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And of course, I've been away for 6 months, so now that I'm back, I have to do a lot of playing here at home.
You know, talking about Ronnie Jordan, I went to the North East Jazz Festival, where we were in Cape Town when we had local guys and also international guys. But when we talk about jazz or maybe township jazz or Afro jazz, I seem to put the two groups from international and also local, they're on the same par, by the way I see them. Do you also feel the same, or you find maybe we're still dragging behind? Because I'm tired of people saying we need to learn, we need to learn. We've learned enough. I mean, look at your music, we've learned enough.
Well, I have nothing wrong with people saying we need to learn. I mean, I know we're all going to be learning until we cannot learn anymore. But one thing I'm very sure about, South Africa's got the greatest musicians to be anywhere in the world.
True. Because the attitude is we're still learning. It's been like 10 years now that we've voted for the first time. It was 8 years maybe. And America, they're not learning now. They're living life. And I think we need to do the same. And people like you, really, who are putting us right there in the forefront, it's big up, man.
Thanks, man.
Big up.
Yeah. Now, I think what will be very helpful for ourselves as musicians, and I mean, is to get help from sponsors, to be able to actually import this music outside this continent, because people are actually dying for the music there. I mean, recently we just came back, myself and Moses, from the North Sea Jazz Festival in Holland.